Diddy just sued NBC for the Diddy documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. And Diddy is alleging that NBC aired this documentary with tons of false allegations against him that isn't giving him a shot for a fair trial on May 5th. And in this lawsuit, Diddy is calling out people like Jaguar Wright, Gene Dill, and Al B. Sure, and he's not suing them for defamation, but he's suing NBC for airing things that they have said. Diddy is suing NBC, Peacock, and Ample, and he is claiming that they maliciously broadcasted an outrageous set of fresh lies and conspiracy theories in a purported documentary that they call Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. Diddy is claiming that this documentary is giving false statements that Diddy is a serial unaliver. He claims that the documentary falsely, recklessly, and maliciously accused him of unaliving Kim Porter, Biggie, Andre Harrell, Heavy D, and attempting to unalive Al B. Sure. Diddy is claiming, despite all of the evidence to the contrary, NBC and Ample falsely accused him of being a serial unaliver. And he adds that the documentary includes an interview with Al B. Sure, who asserts that Kim Porter was unalived, adding, "Do I have to say allegedly?" He also...
All right, so this is what we're talking about today. There's a lot of things going on because I haven't talked about this in a while. So everybody come on in, drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know who is in here. And we're going to talk about this lawsuit. Also, there's a lawsuit that came out going against Diddy. So we're going to talk about that also. And then there's another lawsuit. So Diddy is suing somebody. And then I got a guest coming up also. So everybody drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at, because this is going to be a very interesting conversation to have. And I haven't talked about Diddy in a while. So let's go. So I'm playing a little bit more of this, and I'm going to bring my guest up that has some insider information on this NBC Peacock lawsuit.
Is saying that Al B. Sure falsely claimed that before her passing, Kim Porter kept a diary. She was planning to reveal all, but someone, and Diddy is alleging that someone means him, found out that she was writing what was going on behind closed doors. He says that Al B. Sure asserts that a lot goes on in the industry and that those who speak about it usually meet their demise. Diddy also alleges that Al B. Sure falsely claimed that Kim Porter was going to be the next Cassie Ventura, by which he meant that she was about to blow the lid off this entire situation. Diddy is alleging that the documentary gives additional credence to these dangerous and damaging lies about Kim Porter's passing. For example, it features commentary by an attorney, Ariel Mitchell, who has multiple lawsuits filed in court against Diddy. Diddy alleges that Ariel Mitchell ridiculed the idea that Kim Porter passed away of natural causes, saying that people get pneumonia every day and they don't pass away. It just doesn't seem like a natural cause.
And just for the record, this young lady right here, like I always do, I really love her commentary. Her name is Khadijah. Hold on, what is her last name? It is Khadijah Lynn with a bunch of N's. So her name is Khadijah Lynn with about 4 N's. So, and then it's like, so Khadijah and then Lynn. So that's her name.
Diddy is also alleging that in the documentary, Al B. Sure falsely claimed that he is a witness in connection with legal proceedings surrounding Kim Porter's passing, preventing him from elaborating in the interview, and Diddy is claiming that this is also fake. By suggesting that law enforcement is investigating Kim Porter's passing and that Al B. Sure is a witness, NBC and Ample maliciously credited these false claims that Diddy is being investigated for Miss Porter's passing.
All right, so let's bring up this guest that I got, and we're going to get way more deeper pause into this story. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button and drop your city in the chat if you have not already. Let me know who is in here. And I know I ain't been on YouTube in a minute. I've been working on a whole bunch of stuff. So here we go. What's going on, Chris?
I'm back. Look out.
And a lot of people might be like, yo, oh my God, Chris Todd. Hey,
like,
he actually
again?
has a lot of information. So go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Good to be back. And I brought up the lawsuit too. She said some cool stuff. I have it in my phone, the whole thing too, about Ariel Mitchell and Courtney Burgess, how they're named in there. And there's like a war going on, man, right now from jail for Diddy. So he's coming after, you know who's going to be next is Netflix. So when Netflix does the 50 Cent documentary, they're going to get sued too. Everybody's getting sued. Yeah.
Is his lawsuit baseless or should he be suing?
Well, I said this. I did a small an interview yesterday, and I'm glad to be here with you today. When I work for plaintiffs and defendants, depending on who will hire me, right? That's how investigators work. Say I'm not a private eye by license, but sort of people call me a private eye. A lot of private investigators work for defendants, right? Okay. Like OJ had Pat McKinnon, Bill Pavlik, and Barry Hostetler. Like there's people that work for defendants that pull up dirt. They interview witnesses. They record them. They find things to help the defendant beat their case, right? Okay. And everyone has that right to do it. Constitutionally, everyone can work for the lawyers and whatever. What I'll say is this. NBC, by letting those people say that stuff, they are defaming Sean Combs. Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And they cried to me when I went to them months ago with Kim Porter's book. They cried about lawsuits. So this serves them right. They're getting sued. And Courtney and Ariel are in there too, getting called a bunch of names by Erica Wolf, who is the attorney with Cher Tremonti and Michael Tremonti. So yeah, they have a case. Absolutely. If they're saying he's a serial killer, killed Andre Harrell, killed Kim Porter.
Whoa. Say unalived.
Oh, sorry, unalived. That he unalived all these people, you know, and they list like Heavy D and Andre Harrell, and also oh God, what's the other guy's name? Not Ellie.
Literally everybody from the place before not Def Jam. I forgot the name of the record company. The original record company, everybody from the record company is literally dead except for Diddy.
Well, that's Andre. That's what they're saying in there. That's what Al B. Shore is saying, and also Jaguar Wright says this too. And they played her clip. Whether they paid Jaguar, I don't know if she was really involved with NBC. And the guy's name is Ari Mark. That's the name of the guy that owns Ample Entertainment. His name is Ari Mark. He's listed in there. I'm not revealing anything. He's listed in there. So I know Ari. I did a project with him on about a killer or about an unaliver before.
So who is Ari Mark?
He's the owner. He's the director of that. He's getting sued by Diddy. He's the one who made the Peacock documentary. Now, he also did the Chris Brown documentary that Chris Brown sued Discovery ID for $500 million. This is the same guy.
Did they win?
Chris Brown is suing Discovery ID for $500 million.
So it's still going. He didn't win, or it's still going.
He just filed it.
Oh, okay.
So this is the same director and the same company. I give him credit. You got to pat the guy on the back a little bit. He's got balls. So,
So why? Okay, just a question. Why make if what you're saying is Diddy has all the right to sue them for $100 million, y'all, and is a good possibility that this lawsuit may have legs. Why did Peacock and Netflix, why did they make this documentary in the first place? To a certain degree, why did they care? Because it's like this. Okay, if I don't know, but if I know for a fact that if I make this video about Diddy, I will be sued, I'm not going to make the video. Or either I'm going to change the wording of the video so I won't be sued. like you said, because I watched it too. They literally said he did this, he did that. It was literally saying he did it.
Right.
It wasn't conjecture in there. Why would they spend all this money to make this documentary just to get sued? What am I missing?
Well, when Erica Wolf, the lawyer, says their appetite for tabloid or for a story, right? They're all jumping on the Diddy bandwagon because it's the biggest celebrity scandal story maybe ever, right?
Okay.
So to them, remember, when you're NBC Universal, Comcast, or you're Netflix, are you worried about doing a lawsuit for $100 million? You probably could settle it for $5 million. They don't care. You know what? Money to these studios, it's a number on a screen. It doesn't mean anything. They pull in so much money, man. These are billion-dollar companies, and a lot of these defamation lawsuits, they get dragged out for years. They go forever.
Yeah.
So in the back of their head, they may know if Diddy wants to battle us, and these people said he abused them, we're going to side with the victims, and we're just going to go to court. Because look, I think Netflix will pull the reins a little bit. I don't know if they're going to release something. They might not. They might shelve it. Yeah.
So in other words, what you're saying is they're going to make so much money off of this documentary. The lawsuit isn't necessarily going to matter.
They're not making that much money off that one thing. What I'm saying is they have enough money and power and huge attorneys. They don't care. So, and remember, it's hard to defame felons. It's hard to defame Satan. So if you say, remember, defamation means you're saying something that's not. Defamation means you're saying something that's not true.
That's not true.
If they go to court and prove Diddy gave laced drinks to people, that he was responsible, that there are tapes of people, his lawsuit's over. It's over. Now, what I wanted to talk about is Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell, because they sort of hold the kryptonite. They hold the key. Will Courtney show the tapes? That's what we have to ask ourselves. Is he going to go atomic? And just blow them up out of the water. You feel me?
Yeah. So,
I have the lawsuit. I mean, I can read some of. They call Courtney a bit player. They call Courtney.
Yeah, read.
Sure.
Read some of it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Defendants ample entertainment.
Go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Defendants Ample Entertainment and NBC Uni also maliciously claim that there are flash drives of sex tapes with 8 distinct individuals, including A-list celebrities and Diddy, all engaged in S. I'm going to edit some of this. Yeah. The documentary features claims by an attorney, Ariel Mitchell, and her client, Courtney Burgess, saying they possess these videos. Courtney Burgess has been described as a one-time industry bit player and a fringe character. In recent months, seeking to capitalize on the media's insatiable appetite for celebrity scandal, Burgess has gone to great lengths to invent and publicize outrageous falsehoods about Mr. Combs. Burgess claims he has worked in the music industry for decades, but he has no public record of any professional achievements and left no detectable footprint on the industry prior to his recent campaign to malign Mr. Combs. His malicious conduct, which according to the New York Times has only amped up the circus-like frenzy around this case, is intended to garner publicity to profit from the attention surrounding Mr. Combs' legal proceedings. Burgess has never met Mr. Combs, has never had any relationship with anyone in Mr. Combs' family. Nevertheless, Burgess has claimed on multiple occasions that Kimberly Porter provided him with a copy of her memoir and videos depicting Mr. Combs essaying inebriated celebrities and tadpoles. The other part I'll just say real quick is then defendants NBCU and Ample Entertainment knew that Ariel Mitchell was a wholly unreliable character. And if they did a simple Google search, Mitchell had previously made ridiculous claims that research indicated that baby oil can be used as a conduit for transmitting D's mixed into the oil. Mitchell has previously been accused of bribing a witness to change her testimony to corroborate claims filed by Mitchell. And Mitchell has a history of filing frivolous claims and then withdrawing from the lawsuit when the lies come to light. In truth, there are no such videos. There never were any videos. Mitchell and Burgess are the sources of these vile rumors, and defendants NBCU and Ample Entertainment are responsible for maliciously perpetuating them. Them is fighting words. That's what I said in the other thing. I'm going to talk to Courtney soon, I hope. It's time for him to detonate. It's time for him to reveal the tapes. That's
okay.
They're calling
and and according to you, a lot of the things that have been said about Courtney, like you can somewhat stand behind and say that Courtney does know some things. So this is time for Courtney to stand up for himself to a certain degree, right?
Well, and I also think, look, Courtney could do a movie about his life rights. Courtney is an interesting character. There's only one Courtney Burgess. He may want to monetize his story, which he has the right to do. I'm not saying monetize tapes. I'm saying monetize his story, his situation, his tell-it-all book. That he could do. So he might sit on it, and maybe he won't detonate and show the public. I don't know. That's going to be up to him. And obviously, there's some legal issues. You got to be careful if you show essay tapes, right? You can't really show those to the public. They would have to be severely edited, blurred out, screenshots. There's ways to do it.
Even in court?
In court, they would be seen full blown.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, because I'm just looking at all sides, right?
Yeah.
Diddy actually winning can actually be helpful. And hear me out. If Diddy actually wins this $100 million lawsuit, say they settle,
or even a portion of it, right?
Yeah, for 40 million or something like that, right? Because of all of these lawsuits that are going against him, wouldn't the money go directly to the victims that are presently suing Diddy?
If the government puts a fund or a trust and they force him, in theory, whatever money he gets, they could start siphoning that to victims. They did that on Epstein. They took money from like the banks. Yeah.
So everybody hit the like button. Y'all not hitting the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody watching, make sure to hit the like button. I know I ain't been on YouTube in a minute. I got to get back in the algorithm. So I need everybody watching to hit the like button to get my videos back in the algorithm, because I've been off YouTube for a while. I ain't done a live in about a month. So I got to get back in the algorithm. So I need everybody to help me get back in the algorithm by hitting the like button and sharing this video. So the reason why, because somebody asked me a while ago, this was when I was doing Diddy videos before. It was like, why you keep doing all these Diddy videos, right? Well, just to answer that is a reason why I'm asking you this question. I want Diddy under the jail, not because of Diddy himself, but what Diddy represents. See, there are thousands of men that walk through malls all over the country looking for young women and young men, and they walk up to them and say, hey, you have this look. Do you want to be a star? And they're like, I'm an A&R for this record company, or I'm a person for this person. And they get the young boy, young girl all excited, like, wait, me? I can be a star? And then they turn around and pull them into this world of trafficking, and all they wanted to do was be a star or be a model or be a rapper or whatever. And they get sucked into this world that they didn't ask to be in. And next thing you know, they go from just walking through the mall to that now they're in some strip club in another country, stripping or, selling their bodies for, in another country or whatever, end up in some type of container or whatever. So the thing about it is, this is bigger than just a Diddy lawsuit to me. This is about setting a standard and letting young people know, and the parents of these young people, that, hey, there are men out here and women, because in this Diddy lawsuit and in all these Diddy videos that I've been doing, I've always said there is always a bottom bitch to the Diddy or to the trafficker that actually is the one that's walking up to the girl or the boy. Is right. A lot of times a woman. So it's not just men, right. It's women also. And if somebody was to walk up to you and say, hey, you have a look, here's my card, call me and I can make you famous. It's a possibility that that can be a trafficker, right? So when you look at the situation with Diddy, it's not just Diddy. It's all these people. It's because this is how they actually get people. I always say rap, hip hop, people like listening to it, but there's a deeper, darker side to it. And it sucks young girls in and sucks young boys in the background. And it causes young people to end up going missing when they get called, you want to come to this party, you want to come to this freak off, you think it's cute, you think it's cool, but somebody ends up being missing by the time the party is over. Well, yeah, and that's why I talk about these Diddy lawsuits or whatever, because it's so much bigger than just Diddy himself. But go ahead.
But that's why everybody's chomping at the bit for multiple documentaries. What about Ashton Kutcher? What about Oprah? There's all these different people, because it's not just Diddy. It's about Hollywood. It's about the music industry. It's just like Epstein. Not everybody cared just about Jeff Epstein. They wanted to know who was with him doing it also. They're trying to, it's like collateral damage, man. They're trying to burn down the whole forest. Mm-hmm. So you got Diddy, and obviously he had a small group of people. I won't name names, but there's a small group that recruited women and men, right? Yeah. That laced drinks, right? There's all the lawsuits are similar. They have the very similar MO, okay? Yeah. And so obviously he knew what he was doing, and a lot of people were benefiting from it, not just him, because if you look at the parties, everybody's there, man. At the white parties, everybody's there. We're not saying they're all involved in the freak-offs, but we're saying is they know what's going on. They know what he's doing. People talk. And I had a woman come to me many years ago and goes, the music industry is due for their Me Too movement. And nobody heard of any of this like about 10 years ago. Now it's blowing up. Hollywood had its Me Too movement with the Reese Witherspoons and the women that spearheaded it. That was Weinstein, and there was a lot of other people. But the music industry, they were saying, was just as bad, and nobody was listening. And now it's really coming out. And Diddy represents, I don't really say other guys' names right now. We have to see what the enterprise letter is. If they're going to say, like, these are the people that helped Diddy. That's what we're waiting for. Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting on, because when he starts taking other people down, that's when everybody is going to pay attention, because at the end of the day, Diddy is already in jail. And
he's probably not getting out, like, ever.
Right. So with all that being said,
but I will say this, look, OJ got off, and everybody thought OJ was going down too. So Diddy, I think, is really gearing up. That's why he's suing NBC. That's why he's suing Ariel Mitchell. He's calling the bluff on the tapes. If they exist, he wants them. So in discovery, basically, if Courtney and them have to go to court or go further, they're going to say to them, even News Nation would say to Courtney, show us the tapes. And if he goes, well, I made it all up, well, then they're going to go, we got a problem, dude. We got a problem. We put you on the air and you said you had them. Now, News Nation should have watched those tapes, and they didn't. And NBC Universal should have done more homework too. Mm-hmm. And flip side is Diddy's attorneys need to do homework also to see, do those tapes actually exist?
So let's talk about discovery. Your mic has a problem, Chris. They're saying something about.
Am I low again? Maybe I'm low. Sometimes
I can hear.
low. You
Hold
can
on,
hear
real
me,
quick.
right?
Yeah. So is the mic is his lower, or what's wrong with the mic? October 3074. So we can fix
Sometimes
it.
I'm too low, but it doesn't really turn out to be low in the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let us know what's going on, because I can hear him with no problem. But can y'all put a 1 in, let's just say that, put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear Todd clearly. I can hear him fine. Okay. So all right. So it's very low. And you're so I'm louder than you.
Probably.
So
mine's, I'm on an iPad, so the sound is not. I'm not in a microphone.
Right.
That's why.
Okay.
It usually works out though. Yeah.
Okay, so you're good. Okay, so but while y'all putting a 1 in the chat, y'all can also like the video too. But yeah, they are saying you're low, but it's okay. We'll be okay.
I'll talk a little closer.
Yeah, but hit the like button and his volume will go up. How about that, y'all? Y'all ain't hit that damn like button. So hit a like button. So let's talk about discovery for a second, and then we're going to get into everything else. Discovery is at whose advantage? Because when somebody gets sued, everything comes out. Who is this going to hurt for? Because he's suing them, right? So this means in some type of way, he doesn't think they have anything because of discovery. What do you think about that?
Oh, Diddy's calling their bluff. So what he's saying is, I'm going to sue you for $100 million, NBC, Ample Entertainment, even Ariel Mitchell and Courtney, they'll be called into it. And they're being physically sued, News Nation, Ariel, and Courtney. So there's 2 lawsuits that Diddy's basically going after. The common denominator is Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell. They are the common denominators. Okay. Obviously, Gene Deal is mentioned, right? Gene Deal is said in the lawsuit. Jaguar Wright is said, they call her a conspiracy theorist. She's mentioned, right? Those people could be called as witnesses. But here's my point. If we look at it from Diddy's side, right? If I was Diddy, I'm suing you. You're saying I'm a unaliver, a tadpole abuser, an essayer, and I'm going to take as much money from you as I can because you're defaming me. Prove it to me. Prove it to me that I do that. Prove it. All the discovery has to start first on the defendant's side. Diddy doesn't have to show anything right now. He's saying, prove it. You keep saying these things about me. Show us the tapes. Show us. And they're going to subpoena them and be like, you better show the tape. Now, the judge has a lot of power through like rules of evidence. I don't know everything about this, but the judge decides what evidence is allowed in, what's admitted in. So that's why the judge controls. They're kind of the gatekeeper. You feel me? To say like,
because they can make some evidence inadmissible.
Right. The judge rules on that. The lawyers fight about, you know, what should be admitted as evidence. Now, remember, this is a civil trial. This is not a criminal trial. So there's a little more leeway. Criminal trials, there's no beyond a reasonable doubt. It's like 51%. If the jury feels 51% that Sean Combs was defamed, he's going to win. It's not this like 99% thing. So, but for me now, this is what's fascinating about the lawsuit really is this. Do the tapes exist? Okay. That's the question. Because if they do, now maybe it shows consensual right? That's not going to go against Diddy at all. So if I was News Nation, if I was NBC, and I was the lawyers for Ariel and Courtney, I'm going to say to them, show me the stuff right now. If you don't show it to me, we may lose, and you might lose your house. You could lose your house. I know a guy who lost his house in a defamation. Yeah. If you have assets and the court says you lose, just like Cardi B took down Tasha K. Yeah. She owes the money. Yeah. So Courtney's got to be
So,
careful, but yeah, I think Courtney, he knows what he's doing. He's got the kryptonite if he's ready to release it.
so I got a question. What does it? Okay, NBC, Peacock, and then Courtney Burgess is sued.
Yep.
How does that make any sense to sue this conglomerate that is going to fight Diddy? But then say I'm in a lawsuit, right? How do I fight a lawsuit that is also being fought by NBC? Wouldn't I just sit back and just let NBC deal with it since he's suing all of us? Like, would I use my lawyer, my money to fight it if NBC is going to have enough money to fight it for all of us? Because wouldn't it be one win versus one loss? Or can Diddy win against me and lose against NBC?
Yes, it's possible. He could win one and lose the other. Yes. Absolutely.
What?
Yep.
So these are separate? I thought,
yes.
Okay, I don't know. One lawsuit is multiple
Remember,
lawsuits.
you have different juries. Remember, you have different juries. So in one case, the jury may say, you defamed Diddy. The other jurors might hate Diddy and be like, we're not giving this guy a dime. I don't care what they say. A lot of jurors, just like ASAP Rocky's thing, I think he's going to get off. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's going to get off. The other person is crazy.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. These jurors, they kind of know already, just like on OJ. Yeah. They knew they were getting OJ off. They didn't like the cops. They didn't like the planting of evidence. They didn't like the N-word being said on tapes. Like, they already are like, no, I don't care what we see. And so my point is, you have two different juries that are going to decide different things. Some things cross over because of Courtney and Ariel. They cross over into both. But NBC is not Courtney. News Nation is with Courtney. That's their lawsuit. NBC is totally separate with Ari Mark. They have to fight their own battle. They can use Courtney, absolutely. But look, NBC's got a bigger kind of road to hoe here because they got Gene in there. They got Jaguar saying, they got Albie Shore saying stuff. Then they use Ariel Mitchell. I mean, Diddy's looking better on the NBC.
So because I'm not going to ask you the same question again, but I want to ask you the same question in a different way because I just want to get an understanding. If I was on this show, right, NBC paid me or flew me out to be on the show, right, and I said Diddy did A, B, and C, and then I get caught up in this lawsuit, what you're saying is there is a separate lawsuit for me and a separate lawsuit for NBC within this one lawsuit. And if NBC loses or wins, I can turn around and lose, even though I was with NBC.
If you're not named as the defendant on NBC, you got to just bear with me.
Okay.
Diddy is suing NBC, Universal, Comcast, Ari, Mark, and Ample Entertainment. That's who he's suing. NBC and the production company. He's not suing Courtney and Ariel in there. He's suing those two entities. He wants their money. They have the deep pockets. So Gene Deal's not getting sued. Jaguar's not getting. They're witnesses. They're used as evidence. Like, you let these people say this. You, as NBC, you let this guy talk. You didn't edit it. You aired it. This guy, no one would even know what this guy said. You're liable. Now, remember, defamation also, by implication, means you don't even have to sometimes say it outright. If you imply it, you still can be sued. That's why there's so many of these things. That's why Chris Brown's doing it. He's like, yeah, there's some evidence that I got arrested. I don't care. You're saying you're ruining my brand. You're costing me money by running your mouth. So Diddy's going to sue everyone. He'll sue 50 Cent. Once 50 drops the Netflix doc, he'll sue him. I would too, man. Look, let's be honest. If you were Diddy, I know you have a pretty good moral compass. I don't have a big moral compass because of the way my job is. I don't do that. What I'm saying is, if I was Diddy, I was fighting for my life. My life. I'm firing shots off before I go down. I'm coming after everybody. Absolutely.
So if Diddy wins against NBC and gets the money, what are the chances of Diddy now having enough money to pay the other victims? Like, is that a possibility?
The criminal case, remember, the criminal case is
I'm
going to go
like,
first.
is this a good thing so the victims can get what they want? That's my thought.
Diddy already has money. He doesn't need like more money. He's got a lot of money. Okay. The federal
He's not
government
spending like $1 billion a month on lawyers.
Diddy's worth almost $1 billion.
Wait. I thought he wasn't. He was just attached to $1 billion, and once he became unattached to Diageo or whoever, he wasn't worth that anymore.
Let me say this. He's got more money than 50 Cent. Okay. He's worth way more money than 50 Cent is. He's got plenty of money, is my point. Here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The criminal trial goes first. The civil trials will get frozen. The criminal goes first. If he goes to jail, now this is why NBC is probably not that scared. If Diddy gets convicted of some of these events, right, of these charges, and he goes to jail for 15 to 20 years, these civil cases, how are you going to defame him? He's a felon, convicted felon. So the lawyers are going to drive that, and they're probably going to. The fear for the defamation cases is if Diddy gets off on the criminal case, that's when they're going to shake in their boots. They're going to be like, oh, he got acquitted. Now he's coming for everybody. Yeah.
Okay. So nothing is really going to happen until he gets convicted or acquitted.
Correct.
Okay.
All those
that makes
things
sense.
they move at molasses speed. Defamation. I'm in one for 4 years. We haven't even approached a trial. It's been 4 years. It's not going to happen. Now, if it happens in May, the criminal trial in May, which right now, I guess they're going for it. I was thinking it'll get postponed, but it looks like Diddy's trying it. He wants to go. Go. I get it. He doesn't want to sit in jail. He just wants to know. Let's do it. So May 5th.
So what is his other option? What was an option to take a plea deal or no? Because I haven't heard anything about a plea deal.
If they offer him a plea deal, he could. Yeah, that's up to the U.S. attorney.
Have they offered him? That's the question.
I don't think so. It's up to only the U.S. attorney can offer him a plea deal. That's it.
Because we heard when ASAP Rocky was offered a plea deal. So we hear about these things. So we haven't heard anything. Most likely that means he wasn't offered one, right?
Possibly. ASAP Rocky's thing is a California case. We're talking about the federal government here. This is the big leagues. This is a totally different beat. And I know for a fact that the government is investigating certain people. I can't say how I know that. I know they are. They're after a lot of people right now with subpoenas.
And another question: doesn't the federal government have the tapes when they went through his house? And then even if the Burgess guy has something, don't they have that too? So with all that being said,
but we don't.
What do they have?
We don't know. They're never going to tell us what they have. So I don't know what Courtney has. So if Courtney gave him, like he said in the grand jury, he had to give over stuff. I don't know what that is. The government's never going to show us. They're never going to tell us. The only people that will see it are the jurors, the lawyers, and the people in the courtroom. That's it. After
so that's not going
years down the road, it could get leaked. There could be whistleblowers. There could be Freedom of Information Acts. Yes, but as of right now, look, they confiscated a lot of stuff at Diddy. I'm sure they found stuff. They went to him on the plane. They went to both his houses simultaneously. They obviously found stuff of him. And if they have search warrants to go through his iCloud and stuff, they don't need to actually just get hard physical drives and phones. They could literally pull his iCloud.
Right.
There's different. Apple fights it, I guess. I guess Apple and Verizon, they do fight a lot. They don't let people go into their people's private stuff. So that's all for the courts. That would take forever.
Okay. And what's up, Moeezy? What's going on? Kenny Mack. What's going on, y'all? Make sure everybody hit the like button. Moeezy, I know you hit the like button. I'll talk to you. But the people who have not hit the like button, make sure they hit the like button. Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll come right back.
Up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game. We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Fellas, buy this card game. Ladies, buy this card game. Buy about 2 or 3 card games. The main reason why people can't stay together isn't because they don't like each other no more. It's actually because their present family issues come up or their past family issues come up. But when you play Deeper Discussions, you'll be able to understand a person's family issues up front.
This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group. So have fun.
Question number 1. Name a time when money was the main factor why a relationship went bad.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. The texture of these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna
really
get wore out.
Durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
Okay, so, and if you have not already bought my card game, make sure to buy my card games. My mother-daughter card game is at a reduced price temporarily. I'm trying some stuff out. So if you ever went to the website and thought my mother-daughter card game was, I don't know, too expensive or whatever, it is now at a lower price temporarily. I'm trying out something. So and once something either works or don't, the price is going to go back up. So if you have not bought my mother-daughter card game, buy the card game right now because it's at a reduced price right now. So click the link that is in the chat and you'll easily see what the new price is. So where do we go from here, in your opinion? What is next? Because what you just said is something I didn't know, that there is not going to be a lawsuit. Like, so Diddy can't sue them either until he gets some type of trial in May, right?
Yeah, he's just setting the wheels in motion, right? He's forcing them to respond. They get served. They get the warning shot. All the press comes out. This is good for Diddy's team because Diddy says to Netflix and Discovery ID, "You're next." He's saying that. And any podcasters, "You're next." These are warning shots. And the 100 million, yeah, look, Diddy's worth a lot of money. I could never sue somebody for 100 million. I'd have to sue him for like 2 million. Like, it depends on what you're worth. Okay. So his brand and name, I think what happens next is the investigation
is the amount of damages.
Yes.
Yeah, damages.
Punitive,
go ahead. Okay.
Or, punitive means like punishment, compensatory, compensation. There's like 2 main types of damages. But my point is they're going to drive the investigation forward. More stuff's going to come out. Ariel Mitchell's going to respond. I don't know if she's going to do a press conference. I don't know what she and Courtney are going to do. I don't know if NBC is going to comment. This is good theater, man. This is big. This is unique. So I'm going to be watching very closely for that criminal trial first. After that, then here comes, he's got like 30 lawsuits against him. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a slew of them. He may run out of money. If he loses the criminal, he goes to jail for 20 years. If they seize his assets, because they say in the RICO that he made money by doing illegal activity, they could seize his assets. That could be a problem. They could bust him. I had somebody tell me they wanted to bust his bank first. And I was like, oh, maybe. Okay. So that could be true. Then he can't fight anymore,
I think everything is in his mom's name, even his house, the $50 million house that he wanted to put up for bail. I think that's in his mom's name. So it's a possibility that he doesn't have anything in his name that's like extremely.
Yeah, could be hidden
Yeah,
asset.
yeah. And then I heard his mom is trying to leave the country, and she's free to leave. Because I don't think she gave up her passport. I'm not sure. I don't think she gave up her passport.
They
So
can
she may
sue her too. She could be sued too by the victims. So at that point, if they feel there's some funny business that Diddy was moving assets because he knew it, they could sue him for that too. They could sue her. Oh yeah, they sue companies, Macy's, Bad Boy Records. Like that's why they do that. The lawyers, they don't just sue the person, they sue all the entities. You can sue anybody, basically, okay, in a civil case. If the threshold is met with the lawyer or the judge and they say your thumbs up, you're going. And it's a mess. You know, I might be sued too. They think I'm next, but I don't have assets for him to take. That's the thing.
Yeah. If you ain't got no money or you don't have a lot of assets, why would a millionaire sue a random person? Yeah. You know, that's why I never really worried about getting sued, because like for what, you know? And then at the same time,
when Cardi B sued Tasha K, right? She sued her for like $3 million. She won. Cardi B won. Tasha couldn't shut her mouth. She wouldn't stop saying nasty, disgusting things about Cardi B. She did it to make a point. She don't need her $3 million. She did it to shut her up. So that's what it comes down to too.
That is like, before you get sued, there's a warning. I don't know if it's a warning all the time, but cease and desist, because after the cease and desist, you get warned. Yeah. So altogether, unless I get a cease and desist or whatever, and then at the same time, I can't say I wouldn't get sued, or anybody like you wouldn't get sued or whatever, because you know, like you said, anybody can sue. But I wouldn't worry about anything happening, because there's so much going on, like especially with him suing NBC. Ain't nobody thinking about me. Ain't nobody thinking about you. You know, but like you said with Corey Burgess, was Corey Burgess in? I didn't see him in a documentary anywhere. Did you see him? Because I haven't seen all of it.
No, they didn't put him in the NBC doc, but they showed his photos of him sitting there like this with a bunch of smoke around him. They didn't even include him in the documentary. They just used his likeness and image without his permission.
Without his permission?
Yes. He's pissed too. So
he could turn around and get sued, and
he's getting News Nation. He's not getting sued with NBC. You got to separate these. You keep crossing.
Who is News Nation?
Okay. Courtney is being sued by Diddy directly with Ariel and News Nation. That's the $50 million one. The new one that's yesterday is $100 million versus NBC Uni and Ari Mark. That's who's being sued. But inside there, they're using Courtney, Jaguar, Gene Deal. They're saying these people are liars and frauds, and you letting them talk. You're telling the lies for them, so you're liable. And let's remember, Diddy's suing them because News Nation has deep pockets, and so does NBC. He's not suing Courtney Burgess himself. He's suing News Nation, Ariel, and him all together. Okay? Yeah. He wants their money. Courtney's not going to give him a dime. He's not going to get any money out of Courtney Burgess.
So will this, as an example, shut up Jaguar Wright? As an example.
I'm glad you brought this up, because I did get to meet Jaguar on the Sean Atwood thing, and there was some yelling and arguing. If I was Jay-Z, I would cease and desist Jaguar Wright. If she didn't stop, I would sue her. If she has some real dirt on Jay-Z, maybe she does, and maybe that's what he's afraid of, but she's taken it so far, I would sue her. If I was Diddy or Jay-Z, I would absolutely sue her.
Just to stop her?
To stop her train, because she goes on 50,000 podcasts a week. You shut her down. You say, we'll take your house. You own a property. We're going to come after your house. We're coming after your cars, everything.
What about Discovery?
My thing Discovery is this. I
Discovery.
I put this challenge out to Jaguar Wright. If you have something, Jaguar, show it. Okay? Show it. She says a lot of stuff, but doesn't show anything. So if she knows about girls put on planes and they were essay, then say who they are and bring them forward and do it. Okay? I don't know if the federal government contacts her. Maybe they have and she doesn't want to say it. Maybe they do. Maybe nobody takes her seriously. I don't know. But if I'm a small time guy. I'm nowhere near the fame of maybe even you or anybody necessarily. I'll tell you this right now. When people start saying stuff, I threaten lawsuits on them. I'm a nobody. So imagine you're Jay-Z and Beyonce and Blue Ivy, and you're saying stuff about my family, you're getting sued, period. You're getting shut up. I would file a criminal complaint against them too. But
wait, a criminal?
There's ways to file criminal harassment, stalking. Yeah.
Harassment and stalking.
In California, we have penal codes. Yes.
Okay. I didn't think about that.
Stalk people, harass them. There's ways to do it criminally. Trust me. I've had it done against me when I've gone after killers and accomplices. They've tried to have me arrested. I've gone to court on TROs. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So anybody in the chat watching, do you have a question for Chris Todd having to do with Diddy suing NBC? Because this is a very interesting change of course where Diddy is actually suing somebody else instead of somebody else.
And remember, they're saying in that lawsuit with NBC, talking about you accused Diddy of unaliving Kim Porter.
Yes.
That's what it says in there. And that's bringing Kim's ghost back out. That's going to bring Tell It All, Kim's Lost Words, the pictures of her abused in Toluca Lake that I put in the Daily Mail, Courtney's stuff, the celebrity source, who we won't say the name anymore because I'm not supposed to say the name anymore.
Yeah.
I got scolded, but that's bringing Kim Porter back into this fold. Was she unalived?
Yeah.
So fascinating. It's a big story, man. It's going to be big for a while.
Would you have done this if you were the director or producer or creator of this documentary? Would you have done? Because in all honesty, not taking anything from the documentary, but one of the reasons why I haven't watched the whole documentary, because I covered the whole damn documentary already. So literally everything I'm watching is something that I don't said, or something Tisa Selson said, or something Jaguar Wright said. So all of us have really did the documentary on our own. It's just on a bigger screen. So why do the documentary? Because it's like this. According to what I'm watching, they was watching us, right? So if we were doing all of this, why are they doing all of this? Since we exacerbated all of this, I will say, why are they doing this if it's already known?
Well, it's not known on their platforms, like with Tisa Tells and you. And look, there's a lot of Sean Atwood, there's a lot of podcasts. The Dopest Nerd and Lionel B. And look, everyone has their own little audiences, right? So they're all going to do a Diddy thing to their audience. Now, when you talk about broadcast television, Peacock, NBC, News Nation, Discovery ID, Netflix, they all want a piece of the story. They want to do their own version. These people, this is a machine. The true crime industry, they make money. Those producers make 100 to 200 grand. They want to get paid. That's their job. They only care about they just did the OJ thing at Netflix and those people got paid too. So it's a business, right? They need content. They need stuff on TV. If they get a couple lawsuits here and there, they don't care. They have retained lawyers at big law firms. It's like when they did Amazon with us with Kim Porter's book. They eventually paid us because they don't want me suing them for money you owe me. Like they don't want that.
I just thought about something. I kind of like you answered the question indirectly. It's not just about the money, it's about the viewership and the competition between Peacock and Netflix.
Right. Exactly.
So you have to bring on you have to be more competitive. So if you take a risk of getting sued, but for example, you're the only one that is talking about Diddy, people who want to hear about Diddy are going to subscribe to your platform versus another platform that isn't talking about Diddy.
They have to do it. They need to do something like Netflix.
Market share.
Yeah.
It's about market share and not just money. I get it.
But that equates to money to them, to studio execs, subscribers, eyeballs, Emmys. Look, they did R. Kelly, right? They won like Emmys. They had all these Emmy nominations. R. Kelly could have sued them, but everybody just went after R. Kelly. So they're doing the same thing with Diddy. They're all piling on. The whole town's like, look, let's all go after him. If he sues all of us, we'll all team up and we'll take him down. Like that's it. There's so much. They eat their young, man. Hollywood, they make money off of burning each other. They burn each other. Weinstein
off of market, to get market share.
They have to. Everyone's got to do a Diddy thing. They have to.
Yeah. That makes sense. So that's really all the questions I had. Do you have anything else?
No, I think I'm glad to be continued, man. We'll be back. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out. I'm glad you have me. It's good to see you. And buy those card games, man. Buy those card games. Those things look cool, man. Yeah.
So Monica says, don't you have to have the evidence of that first? And apparently they don't, and he would have been locked up. I'm not exactly sure what Monica is saying. I'm trying to get an understanding. Don't you have to have the evidence? Go ahead.
She might be saying, like, if there's a lot of evidence about Diddy for all this time, he either should have been locked up a long time ago, right? Did they already know about this now? Or you could look at it, the evidence today. How are these lawsuits happening? Does anybody actually have the real evidence or not? I will say this. Both sides, plaintiffs and defendants, they should look at working with me. Because I'll tell you right now, I could find out a lot of this stuff on both sides. I could do it. I haven't been asked to do it. I'm not going to spend my own money to do it. I'm not on a crusade to waste my own money out of pocket. But I'm saying, I know exactly what all these people are missing and looking for. And there's ways to do it and to get it. You just got to put in the effort and you got to stick your neck out a little bit. They're not doing that. They have not investigated whether Courtney's tapes are real or not. They keep saying they don't exist. There's no such thing. You better hope they don't exist. Tell you that right now. You better cross your fingers because you obviously don't know what you're doing when you start saying that. You are not looking close enough. I'm just going to wink there.
Okay.
All right.
That's interesting. Okay, man. So we're gonna do it again. Thank you so much for pulling up. I got some more stuff to share with everybody. We're gonna go through these videos, but thank you so much for pulling up.
See you, Aaron. Talk to you later.
All right. Talk to you later. All right, y'all. That was very informative. Put a 1 in the chat if that was informative, or because I know some people's like, oh, not him again. But no, I think that was pretty informative. What do y'all think though? What's up, Brown Sugar? So I got some videos where we're going to talk about the lawsuit and other things also, because there's interesting information about somebody suing Diddy, and it kind of like goes along with the narrative that I was talking about earlier about how I'm making these videos in order to warn young people and the parents of young people how it only takes one person to turn around and look at you and say, hey, you look like you might be a star, and you fall for it. So check this video. Well, check all of this out. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. We are not done.
NBC for the Diddy.
We are just getting started. I may make this another part, but everybody hit the like button, send this video out to more people, and let's go.
Diddy just sued NBC for the Diddy documentary, Diddy, the Making of a Bad Boy. And Diddy is alleging that NBC aired this documentary with tons of false allegations against him that isn't giving him a shot for a fair trial on May 5th. And in this lawsuit, Diddy is calling out people like Jaguar Wright, Gene Dill, and Al B. Sure, and he's not suing them for defamation, but he's suing NBC for airing things that they have said. Diddy is suing NBC, Peacock, and Ample, and he is claiming that they maliciously broadcasted an outrageous set of fresh lies and conspiracy theories in a purported documentary that they call Diddy, the Making of a Bad Boy. Diddy is claiming that this documentary is giving false statements that Diddy is a serial unaliver. He claims that the documentary falsely, recklessly, and maliciously accused him of unaliving Kim Porter, Biggie, Andre Harrell, Heavy D, and attempting to unalive Al B. Sure. Diddy is claiming, despite all of the evidence to the contrary, NBC and Ample falsely accused him of being a serial unaliver, and he adds that the documentary includes an interview with Al B. Sure, who asserts that Kim Porter was unalived, adding, "Do I have to say allegedly?" He also is saying that Al B. Sure falsely claimed that before her passing, Kim Porter kept a diary. She was planning to reveal all, but someone, and Diddy is alleging that someone means him, found out that she was writing what was going on behind closed doors. He says that Al B. Sure asserts that a lot goes on in the industry and that those who speak about it usually meet their demise. Diddy also alleges that Al B. Sure falsely claimed that Kim Porter was going to be the next Cassie Ventura, by which he meant that she was about to blow the lid off this entire situation. Diddy is alleging that the documentary gives additional credence to these dangerous and damaging lies about Kim Porter's passing. For example, it features commentary by an attorney, Ariel Mitchell, who has multiple lawsuits filed in court against Diddy. Diddy alleges that Ariel Mitchell ridiculed the idea that Kim Porter passed away of natural causes, saying that people get pneumonia every day and they don't pass away. It just doesn't seem like a natural cause. Diddy is also alleging that in the documentary, Al B. Sure falsely claimed that he is a witness in connection with legal proceedings surrounding Kim Porter's passing, preventing him from elaborating in the interview, and Diddy is claiming that this is also fake. By suggesting that law enforcement is investigating Kim Porter's passing and that Al B. Sure is a witness, NBC and Ample maliciously credited these false claims that Diddy is being investigated for Miss Porter's passing. Diddy also alleges that in the documentary, Al B. Sure also falsely claimed that his own health problems were a result of an attempted unaliving perpetrated by Diddy. He claims that Kim Porter warned him, "Don't get involved or you will get unalived," and that she was putting her life in danger trying to save him, and that there were people implying Mr. Combs were involved
with a solution that will help every woman watching. I just came up with a solution that will help every woman watching, regardless of age, regardless of background. See, in my 7 years of coaching women, the number one thing that I hear in my coaching sessions is her issue or tumultuous relationship with their mother. So what I've done is come out with a card game that will actually help mothers and daughters come back together. We have to get to the source of a woman's pain, her inadequacies, her insecurities, and heal that little girl inside of her before she goes out in the world as a woman. I call Like Mother, Like Daughter therapy in a box. Therapy in a box is 50 questions for the daughter to ask the mother, questions that you always wanted to ask. And it's also 50 questions for the mother to ask the daughter. But when you're able to ask the questions that you always wanted to ask to your mother without her getting upset, without her pulling rank on you, the lines of communication are now open. When women are finally able to forgive their mother, relationships outside of the household would then blossom. Because for most women, there's a hurt little girl inside of her that never had an opportunity to be seen or heard. But all that stops when you buy my new Like Mother, Like Daughter card game. Order it now. The link is under this video. Click the link and let's start healing. And like I said, for anybody who felt like my mother-daughter card game was too expensive or whatever, because at one point it was $199. it is at a better price at this moment. The price is going to go back up. I'm not sure when, probably maybe in a week. Oh, I'm not exactly sure. But if you want to buy a card game that would help you fix your relationship with your mother, and you have a limited amount of money to spend, this is the only time that you have to get my mother-daughter card game. There are 2 card games in one. There is a mother deck and there is a daughter deck. And one deck is for your mom and the other deck is for you. So this card deck and card game will literally change your entire life, or somebody you know that has an issue with their mother, it'll change their life. So make sure to get your card game if you have not already, because it is at a lower price. Let's get back to the video.
Attempt to unalive I'll Be Sure. Diddy then says from there the documentary advances an unhinged conspiracy theory that Diddy was responsible for the passings of Andre Harrell, Heavy D, in addition to Kim Porter, speculating that it would be too much of a coincidence that Harrell, Heavy D, and Porter all passed away due to natural causes. And Diddy is alleging that I'll Be Sure went along with this conspiracy theory, saying that this person was telling a story, this person was writing a book, this person was about to tell. Why is everybody passing away? Oh, it's a coincidence? Get the out of here. And the conspiracy theorist that Diddy was referring to was Jaguar Wright's interview on Real Life Street Stars, where she said all of these people in Uptown Records were passing away. Diddy alleges to advance this false narrative. The documentary included a clip from the YouTube interview with Jaguar Wright, a conspiracy theorist who skeptically points out that all 5 people who she states started at Uptown Records, the only 2 people left were Puffy and I'll Be Sure, and I'll Be Sure almost passed away. Diddy is alleging that Jaguar Wright was insinuating that both Andre Harrell and Heavy D did not pass away of heart attacks. Diddy is also saying that the documentary included internet comments to Jaguar Wright's YouTube interview on this topic, that the comments say, Jag be connecting them dots, fact or coincidence, you gotta admit it's really interesting. Others say, dang, she really puts pieces together, I never looked at it this way. Jaguar Wright is not lying, Chili. Puffy can't be surrounded by this many coincidences. Diddy then goes on to talk about Gene Deal, and he said that the documentary also advances the baseless conspiracy theory that Diddy was involved in the passing of Biggie Smalls. It features an interview with Gene Deal, a former bodyguard who apparently worked for Diddy between the mid-90s and 2005.
I wonder if why is it that Gene Deal never catches any stray bullets? And I'm not saying he should, but it's interesting. And the reason why I think he never catches any lawsuits or any stray bullets is because he's the main person that was there. He's just simply telling everybody what he's seen and what he witnessed in real time. Nobody else was there. I think that's the reason why, because he was the bodyguard and he's seen everything. So you can't turn around and say he's doing something. He's just recanting what actually happened. So looks like Gene Deal is always going to be safe, but these other people weren't there. And I think that's the real difference between Gene Deal and the rest of the people, because everybody else is just conjecture.
Diddy claimed that in that interview, Gene Deal said the week in which Biggie was unalive, Diddy was acting real anxious and trying to get big at this party. He further claimed that Diddy suggested going to a party that evening, and Gene Deal warned him, if we go to this party tonight, we're gonna get unalive. Somebody is gonna...
That right there is crazy. If somebody tells me that word on the street is, if we go to this party, somebody's gonna die, and we still go to the party, that is crazy. But here's the reason why, in my opinion, it's not even my opinion, is what is in the book. And it's the book's opinion. let me play this. Where is it? Here it is right here. This is the reason why they went anyway, according to the book, because somebody brought the book.
Chris and
So this is the reason why they went anyway, according to the book. And say yes or no. Do you believe this book after all this time? Say yes or no. Do you believe in this book? Do you think it's factual or do you think it's not? Say yes or no in the chat and let me know.
It's true. Chris and Pac were about to start their own label. Sean slammed his fist against the table, shouting, "Doesn't anyone have any fucking loyalty?" On top of that, this nigga is making that move, and it should have been with me.
To sign with his record label, Rockefeller.
Guess he won't be leaving with that nigga to do their own label now. If he leaves, he takes all the money I invested into creating him. Sean sighs. But if he can't protect himself and something terrible does happen, then the money I would make off his death would blow away all the money we made so far. Sean, are you saying what I think you're saying? Sean continues, "It's taxing on my resources to protect people. Someone that isn't 100% on my team can't get 100% of my protection."
So what is being said right here, whether it's true or not, the reason why they still went to the party, even though Gene Deal said, if we go to this party or we go to Vegas, somebody's going to die, is because, according to the book, Biggie is worth more money dead than alive, because then he can make the "I Miss You Big," "We Love You Big Papa," and all these other songs whining about the same man that he allegedly unalived himself. So that's the reason why they went to the party, even though there was a warning that somebody's going to die. According to the book, he wanted him dead because he's worth more money dead than alive, because he was about to leave Bad Boy and team up with the diabolical Tupac.
So to be clear, if something happened, XX made quotation marks with his fingers to one of your artists that was leaving your label anyway, it wouldn't be considered out of your control. Wait a minute, can they be talking about Biggie? Is Sean saying he won't protect Biggie? At this point, I was too young, too naive, too hungover to understand that this was not a lack of protection. This was a hit. This was a hit. We gotta have a party. His excitement was contagious. I was getting really excited too.
All right, so let's go back to the video. So I just wanted to add some type of context to what was being said about why they still went to Vegas, even though Gene Deal told them that somebody may die.
Away, and that Diddy said, "I don't want to hear that shit." Diddy is alleging that the producer can be heard egging Gene Deal on, asking, "Do you think that he had any involvement in Biggie's passing?" And Gene Deal answered, "Did he directly have something to do with it? He could have." Diddy is alleging that defendants Ample and NBC knew that these were false allegations because there has never been any evidence that Diddy was involved in Biggie's unaliving. Now Diddy jumps into false allegations about physical relationships with young people. Claim
Right, Nadanya, while making money off of his masters, he should have gave something to Biggie's kids. I don't think you got to understand who Diddy is. Diddy don't care about his own kids, let alone somebody else's kids.
that the documentary falsely and maliciously asserts that Diddy was having physical relations and young girls. References the interview with the unknown person whose image was blacked out and his voice was distorted. Diddy said that in the documentary, the unidentified interviewee claimed that while he was employed by Diddy, he was sent on missions to go to the club and recruit girls and bring them back to the house. But he didn't know what the real intention was, falsely implying that foul play was involved. Diddy is alleging that there was false claims where they say that some of these people were underage, and the documentary then cuts to the portion of the unidentified document that states present at the party with underage girls. He is alleging that the documentary falsely implied that the unidentified documents in corroboration, in fact, is a copy of a civil complaint brought on by Rodney Jones against Diddy containing the same false allegations and seeking a $30 million lawsuit in damages. And Diddy is alleging that these claims in Little Rod's lawsuit against him have been totally discredited because in the lawsuit, some of these women came forward to say that they were not underage and that they were in their mid-30s at the time. Diddy also went on to allege that the documentary includes more false allegations about this subject because Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell, the two that were subpoenaed to the grand jury, talked about flash drives of these tapes with A-list celebrities and Diddy all engaged in acts.
So I'm going to stop right there. I want to do a part 2 of this. Cause I got, like I told you, there's some people suing Diddy also. So I'm going to do a separate live stream about that probably tomorrow. I've been away from YouTube for a minute because I'm working on funnels and, just marketing my card game, stuff like that. So, and the funnels are almost ready. So I've been doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm going to come back and do another live stream about the other, because I got a whole bunch of other stuff that I wanted to get to, but I still got to get back to work to what I was actually doing in the first place. So I'm going to cut it now, but I will be back probably tomorrow and talk about the rest of the Diddy stuff. So I will talk to y'all tomorrow. And if there's something I need from y'all before I go, I need each one of you. Let's do this. Put a 1 in the chat if you bought one of my card games. Put a 1 in the chat if you have bought one or both of my card games. Put a 1 in the chat right now if you have bought one or both of my card games. Because I already know some of y'all have. So put a 1 in the chat if you have bought one or both of my card games. And if you have, I need each one of you to go to my Instagram page, which is right here. I am _Mr. Lego, and simply leave a voice note about how my card game has helped you. Tell a story about, hey, I played the card game with my mom and this happened. Or I played your card game with my friend and this happened. Or I played the card game with a guy or a woman that I'm dating and this happened. I need to hear your stories. And the easiest way for me to hear your story is to just simply go to my DM on Instagram and hit the little voice note feature and just talk. So I need every last one of you who have bought my card game or one of my card games or both of my card games to share your experience via voice note, or you can type it out if you want to. I just think it's easier to do a voice note. But type it out or either leave a voice note in my DMs on Instagram or right here. I am _Mr. Lego, and explain to me how you experience my card games. Because like I said, I'm building something and I need reviews. So hit a like button if you have not already hit the like button. Share this video if you have not already shared this video to your Instagram stories or wherever. But mainly, if you bought my card games, leave a voice note or a message in my DM and record your testimonial on how you experience playing one of my card games or both of my card games. Record your testimonials on Instagram. Exactly. Thank you, October 3 of 74. Get to that, and I'll talk to y'all later. Most likely, I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the rest of the stuff I had to talk about. See y'all later. With a solution that will help every woman watching, regardless of age, regardless of background. See, in my 7 years of coaching women, the number one thing that I hear in my coaching sessions is her issue or tumultuous relationship with her mother. So what I've done is come out with a card game that will actually help mothers and daughters come back together. We have to get to the source of a woman's pain, her inadequacies, her insecurities, and heal that little girl inside of her before she goes out in the world as a woman. I call Like Mother, Like Daughter, therapy in a box. Therapy in a box is 50 questions for the daughter to ask the mother, questions that you always wanted to ask. And it's also 50 questions for the mother to ask the daughter. But when you're able to ask the questions that you always wanted to ask to your mother without her getting upset, without her pulling rank on you, the lines of communication are now open. When women are finally able to forgive their mother, relationships outside of the household would then blossom. Because for most women, there's a hurt little girl inside of her that never had an opportunity to be seen or heard. But all that stops when you buy my new Like Mother, Like Daughter card game. Order it now. The link is under this video. Click the link and let's start healing.